Judge Carlton Hayes leaned back in his chair laughing while the prosecutor whispered something into his ear. The entire courtroom could hear them mocking the black man standing alone at the defense table. Marcus Reed remained calm, dressed in a dark navy suit, hands folded neatly in front of him. He watched the judge and prosecutor exchange smug smiles like the trial was already over. "You really thought this would work?" The prosecutor laughed loudly. "You should have taken the plea deal." Several people in the courtroom chuckled nervously. Judge Hayes shook his head. "Honestly," he smirked, "I've seen smarter defendants on traffic tickets." Marcus said nothing. That confidence irritated the judge immediately, because every other defendant who stood in that courtroom usually looked terrified. Marcus didn't. The prosecutor stepped closer dramatically. "For the record," he announced loudly, "the state recommends maximum sentencing." Gasps spread softly through the room. Marcus had been accused of conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction connected to a massive city corruption case. The media already painted him as guilty. But Marcus never once defended himself emotionally. He simply watched. Judge Hayes leaned forward. "You understand what's about to happen to you?" Marcus nodded calmly. "Yes, Your Honor." The judge smirked again. "Good." He raised the sentencing papers. But before he could speak, Marcus quietly interrupted. "Before sentencing," he said calmly, "I'd like the court to review one final piece of evidence." The prosecutor laughed immediately. "Oh, please." Judge Hayes rolled his eyes. "You've wasted enough time already." Marcus slowly reached into his briefcase. Several bailiffs tensed instantly, but Marcus only removed a thick black folder, then placed it carefully onto the courtroom table. The words on the cover froze the entire room. "Federal Investigation File." The judge frowned. "What is this?" Marcus looked directly at him. "The reason I'm here." Silence. Complete silence. Marcus slowly opened the folder. Inside were photographs, bank transfers, private phone records, secret meetings between the judge and prosecutor. Every page connected them to illegal backroom deals involving manipulated cases and paid convictions. The prosecutor's smile disappeared instantly. Judge Hayes stood up angrily. "This is absurd." Marcus calmly removed another item. A badge. FBI. The courtroom exploded into whispers. Reporters jumped from their seats. The judge's face turned pale. Marcus opened the badge wallet slowly. "Special Agent Marcus Reed," he said quietly. "Federal Anti-Corruption Division." Nobody moved. Nobody even breathed. The prosecutor stepped backward in shock. Marcus continued calmly. "For the last 11 months, I've been leading an undercover investigation into judicial misconduct and conspiracy inside this courthouse." The room erupted into chaos. Several attorneys began whispering frantically. The judge slammed his hands onto the bench. "You set me up." Marcus shook his head slowly. "No," he answered quietly. "You exposed yourself." Then Marcus pressed a button on a small recorder. Audio filled the courtroom instantly. The judge's own voice discussing illegal sentencing deals. The prosecutor laughing about burying evidence. Jurors stared in disbelief. Even the bailiffs looked stunned now. Marcus closed the folder calmly. "You thought I was just another defendant," he said softly while staring directly at the judge. He paused. "But this courtroom was the crime scene the entire time.